What's going on, everyone? It's kylecroese, and this is the Everything I Watched segment for April 2022. Before we move on, I just want to look. We haven't got new episodes at the moment, but I just want to shout the podcast anyway. If you want to check out the back catalogue before we hit episode 100, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get them, it's there. Still in the kinks of trying to work that out. But yeah, like I said, back catalogue is there for you if you want to listen to any of those episodes. All right, let's do this. First, I checked out Murder on the Orient Express from 2017, directed by Kenneth Branagh. I had never seen this movie, so Death of the Nile came out, and I wanted to check out the first one before I wanted to check out Death of the Nile, so I went and checked out this one. About a bunch of strangers that are on a train, and a murder happens. It's a bit of a whodunit. This is based on the Agatha Christie novel of the same name, and look, it was fine. It was fine. I just don't think, there's just nothing special about Kenneth Branagh's direction. I noticed the same thing as well, even in his actual film, his personal film, Belfast. I didn't really... And when he directed the Thor movies, all I get was the Dutch angles, I guess. But, I just don't... There's nothing so singular about Kenneth Branagh's direction. And it's a nice-looking movie. But other than that, I do like a whodunit. And, a noir film. No. Other than that, it just didn't really do much for me. The twist, I was kind of like, all right, okay. I thought Johnny Depp was pretty good. I normally, in his most recent roles, not really a fan of Johnny Depp, especially in the Caribbean Pirates franchise. But I thought it was pretty good here. Too bad he don't last long. Sorry, fucking spoilers about that one from a movie that's how many years old. And Daisy Ridley was good too. Michelle Pfeiffer was good. So the cast is good. Some great performances, and the mystery is fun. But you can't just finish it, and you kind of just okay, all right. So naturally, next I checked out Death on the Nile. This is the film from 2022. This is the new one. In the series, first by Kenneth Branagh. I don't know if he's doing the next one. I think there's a trilogy happening. Not too sure. But this is a brand new cast. We got Gal Gadot. We got Cannibal Man, fucking Armie Hammer's here. We've got Emma Mackey from Sex Education fame. And Russell Brand, for some reason. Russell Brand's in this one. This is pretty much the same thing, but they're on a boat this time, and they're in the Nile. Or I should say CGI Egypt. And... death happens. Murder happens. Who did it? Again, with this one, I think I like this one a little bit better than Murder on the Orient Express. Maybe it was the location. Maybe it's the car. I like the cast more, maybe, even though I fucking love Willem Dafoe. But I don't know. I think I just like this one a bit more. Even though, my God, the CGI of Egypt stands out like a sore fucking thumb. Especially when, I don't know if this was all done in blue screen. It looks better anyway. Just recently watching Moon Knight, it looked much better there. And this one just you look at this and you're like, oh my God, we are in a fucking room in Los Angeles or something probably. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I think I just like the story with this one more. And I probably would choose to watch this one over Orient Express. But... you know what? I'm going to watch these things. I'm a fan of murder mysteries, whodunits, so, it doesn't matter what, I never feel like I waste my time with these ones because it's just, I like that kind of shit. So, if you like it, check it out. It's on Disney+. It's playing on Disney+ at the moment. And I think Murder on the Orient Express also is playing on Disney+, so check it out there if you want to. Next, I checked out Jerrod Carmichael's special Rothaniel from this year. This is directed by Bo Burnham. I wanted to check this out because, again, it was directed by Bo Burnham, and I've liked pretty much everything Bo Burnham has made. And I assume everyone knows who Bo Burnham is. Delivered that amazing special variety thing, whatever it was last year, called Inside on Netflix. And his comedy special has actually been pretty good too. I haven't actually watched Gerard's previous special, 8, but I have seen his Chris Rock specially directed Tambourine. I thought that was pretty good. I thought the way it was directed was much... there was a uniqueness to it. I really liked the lighting with that one. I really liked I think the camera was either on a track or something where it moves around. I thought it was just a beautiful... It was a well-filmed special. Material wasn't too hot, But I thought the direction from Bo Burnham was the bit that stood out from that special. So I wanted to see what he would do here because there was big news that came out of this special as well. I mostly was going in to see Bo's direction with the special, like I said, but after seeing the big news that came out that Jerrod Carmichael during the special came out as gay, I wanted to check out even more. I wanted to see what kind of special this was because you look at the poster there, it looks very intimate. It's a beautiful shot. What he's wearing as well, just fabulous, amazing stuff. Whoever dressed him, he probably dressed himself. Very fashionable man because it looks beautiful. I don't know, the clothes, I'm just freaking out about the clothes. This was wonderful, a wonderful, intimate, and you feel it's a very close special. The thing is, the structure of the special is not. There's no like joke, setup, punchline. Yes, there are jokes and there are punchlines, but the structure of it is very sporadic. It's very it's much more of a storyteller special. Jerrod is a very, he likes to tell stories instead of telling jokes. Yeah, he'll say the occasional thing here and there to get a laugh, but he's more of a storyteller. And I watched that even when I watched his next special, 8. It was actually his previous special, but I watched 8 after this to see what else Jerrod has done. And I could tell with that one as well, much more of a storyteller. But I definitely prefer this special more than 8. I related to a lot of the issues in the beginning, issues about fatherhood and everything like that. Issues with his father, I related to a bit of that. And it really hit close to home. Those first couple of, those first like 20, half an hour. And then it's not like a ball dropping at the last minute. Jerrod pretty much tells you at the middle of the special, I think right near the beginning, that he's gay. And then he goes on to talk about it and talk about why he feels that way and how during his childhood that it was affected by his father or his mother. But the biggest obstacle that he had to overcome, and I'll save it for the special, but there is a certain family member that he had to pretty much either reconcile with or make peace with this decision that he has made. The person that he actually is. So the material itself is very intimate and it's very honest and raw. And I really enjoyed it. Especially those those first 20 minutes. Sorry. And Bo's direction is beautiful. The special starts out from the street, and you've got this like beautiful snowfall. I don't know if it was snowing or I don't know if it was added in. I hope it was snowing. I think I've seen behind the scenes of him filming it, and it was snowing. So it looks gorgeous, and it's just this. It's like just walking in on the street, this random venue, and then the special happens, and you're in the crowd. And I just love specials like that. I thought the direction that Bo went with this one was absolutely wonderful. And yeah, if you're a fan of comedy, if you're a fan of heartbreak, or sadness, I guess, and if you're just a fan of honesty in general, raw honesty, check out Carmichael's special Rothaniel, playing on HBO Max. Good stuff. Then I watched Driving Home to You. This is Olivia Rodrigo's film based off her Sour album from 2020, I believe. I won't say 2021, but I think it was 2020. I'm not too sure. I'll check the date on that, actually. 2021, my bad. 2021. So this film is based off that album. She's either driving to Utah or she's driving from Utah. I'm not too sure, but she's driving across country, let's just say that, and she just performs the songs from the album. Now, this is not your normal, let's just play all these songs live. Some bits are like that, but there are some versions of songs that are changed and are done differently for this movie, for this film. I just want to say, before we get into the songs, it's beautifully filmed. Beautifully filmed. She had such an eye for what to capture during this whole thing. And the beauty of nature, being outside. There's a lot of performances that take place outside, and it just looks beautiful. The set dressing, the outfits chosen, loved it all. Loved it all. Now the songs themselves, like I said, there's different versions of the songs from the albums. There is a two that particularly stood out to me were the orchestral version of Good For You, which that song's amazing. Even better here. And the rock version, the kind of punky rock version of Jealousy. And I wasn't really a fan of the song Jealousy from the album, probably one of my least favorites actually. But this version of Jealousy, loved it. Yeah, I thought this was great. I thought this was a really good movie, a good concert film. I like these films that have the artists to form the songs, and at the same time, you find out why they've created the songs, what they were going through for at the moment. Just more movies like this. I really like these peeks inside these artists' lives and what they were going through and eras, and the periods of emotions and the myriad of emotions they were going through with creating. And you see everything. You see where the album started. You see where where it ended up. How it was mastered. The days leading up to it. And throughout, like I said, throughout the whole film, you get pretty much the whole album played for you. And it is a wonderful visual companion piece to the album Sour. So if you're a fan of Sour, if you're a fan of Olivia Rodrigo, check it out. Disney Plus. Driving Home to You. Then on the 14th of April, I checked out the big one. Or the big one to me anyway. This was one of my most anticipated movies of the year. If you had listened to the podcast before the last one, I think it was the 98, I went through my most anticipated movies of the year, whether they were coming out this year or not. What I saw when their schedule looked like. This was my number 2. And boy, this might be my number 1. This movie is fucking incredible. I'm not even exaggerating. Here. This is directed by the Daniels, who gave us Swiss Army Man. They also directed the music video for Turn Down For What. I will say you get a little more of Turn Down For What than Swiss Army Man with this one. It's a little less subtle and quiet. But the humor stays. The humor remains. The Daniels humor remains. The movie's about this immigrant family, and pretty much they're having trouble with their taxes. The main character, played by Michelle Yeoh, Evelyn, is, she's pretty much struggling with the family dynamic, the finances. There's an impending divorce from her husband, played by Ki Kwan, who we haven't seen. I haven't seen him since Temple of Doom, but it's been a fucking long time. And he's back, and he's fucking amazing. He's incredible in this movie. I want to shout out Stephanie Sue. Where did you come from? She is one of the standouts in this movie. I haven't seen her before. I think this was her debut, for acting, but Stephanie Sue, who plays Joy in the movie. Oh my God. I want to see more of her. Jamie Lee Curtis is also really good in this movie too. She's really funny. She's really great. She really fucking commits. And what happens is, Ki Kwan is just part of this multiverse society, I think. And he kind of clicks Evelyn into the multiverse. And it's through this like headpiece thing that they have on their ear, kind of like that. And they have to do certain jumping, they call them jumping points throughout the movie. They got to do certain things to pop them into the multiverse. And what happens is she goes on this incredible journey through all the multiverses to see her goal. But also at the core of the movie is the theme of family, acceptance. And it's just I can't even begin to describe how much this movie meant to me when I saw it the first time in cinema. What it means to me as a person, what it means to me as a filmmaker, and it just uses, in terms of filmmaking, it just uses every single tool at your disposal. It's looking at the different tools we have in filmmaking, grabbing them from the shelves and just not just putting them in a blender, shoving them at the wall. Really meticulously going through them and saying, what can we use here to portray this certain thing? What can we use here to proper visualize this emotion or this feeling? And my God, you go on an absolute journey. For the 2 hours and 10 minutes of this movie, you go on a fucking journey through the eyes of Evelyn, all the lives that she lives. It's just such a fucking, everything is so, I can't even articulate how much this movie is, just how incredible it is. I didn't have low expectations going into it, but I was just like, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun movie. It looks like a really weird, fun movie, but you walk away from it. And not only was I saying this is the best movie of the year, I was saying this is one of the best movies I've ever seen in my entire life. There's one reason why this really sticks out to me. Like one big reason why this really sticks out to me. And it's because I was taught in film school through when you do pitch meetings that when you pitch your film, you're pitch a movie that only you can make as a filmmaker. It's your vision. It's the film that you can make. But only you can do it. No one else can do it. Only you can. And that's your goal. I was told that's your goal with a pitch meeting, is to say that, like, you know, obviously you want to get the financing and the money and the resources to make this movie, but you need to convince the people in the room that you are the only person that can make this film. And look, nowadays, it's a rarity to see. You see a lot of conveyor belt movies, especially with the MCU, films of Blumhouse, even though their strategy is working quite well for them. I can't say when I watch those movies, I say, especially with the MCU, there are a few exceptions with the MCU, but especially with that franchise, with that behemoth, watch those movies and you say, I saw that director through that film. I mean, nowadays you're only getting that with, first of all, independent film and these established filmmakers already, but are still making the movies that they want to make. I don't want to shout out A24 too much, but even though they still do interfere sometimes with the movies, they allow their filmmakers to make something special, unique, make it their vision. Most A24 movies I see, that's like, okay, yeah, that is made by that director. But I have never felt so strongly about the statement that this movie could only have been made by these two people. Their little special ingredients, their sense of humor, their characters, the themes. It's all so singular to them and their creative vision. And that is just spread throughout this movie like butter on toast. It's not even like yellow. It's not even like normal margarine or butter. It's like rainbow butter, and it's just all over the joint. But it spreads so evenly throughout. It doesn't. This film doesn't feel like anything's been chopped down. It doesn't feel like anything's missing. It feels like there's a complete journey happening, and it's just fun and entertaining along the way. And it's just its own brand of like weird. Like they take this multiverse concept and they run with it, man. They absolutely run with it. That's what you love to see when you watch movies like this. This is what you love to see when you watch movies like this. Is directors taking this material, it's written by the Daniels too, so taking that material and then just saying, let's make the best version of this we possibly can. And I'm not discounting any, I'm not discrediting any creators that are making movies that are not doing that, but I'm just saying, in the sea of blockbuster films, especially in the sea of films that you see nowadays, you're not walking away from those movies and saying like, that was perfect. That was the perfect vision from the director. I didn't see anyone touch that or any interference. This fucking movie. If this was not enough of a recommendation for you to go see this or seek it out when it hits digital and Blu-ray, this is me telling you to do it. Go see this movie, support these filmmakers, give them the money they deserve, because they have brought us not just an entertaining film, but not just an entertaining piece of art. I mean, that is a beautiful thing in itself, but just a really special thing that I think everyone can find a sense of community in, and really, I think everyone can get something out of this movie. So Everything Everywhere All at Once, I highly recommend it. Out of any of these movies that you see, I know we've got a few more to go, but out of any of these movies that you see here in this video, this is the movie to check out. Please check it out. No. On the complete opposite side of the spectrum, this was shit. This was just... this was awful. A little bit better than the first one, because I thought the first one was like, I don't know, a little bit, fun. Fine, I guess. But this one, like, it's a bit more entertaining because you have Tails and you have Knuckles as well. I'm also not really a huge fan of the Sonic franchise. I know who these characters are. I know what the IP is, but I'm not really a big fan of the Sonic franchise. And even my housemate, who's a big fan of the Sonic franchise and knows all these characters, loves all these characters, loved the post-credit scene, said the movie was stupid because there's this fucking dumbass human side plots that don't even need to be in the film. Just let these characters have fun and run away with it. But no, we've got to go fucking deal with the sister's wedding, who has nothing to fucking do with the movie at all. Fuck the humans off. Let the hedgehogs ride. Here we go. And then next is X. I would have loved to see this in cinemas, but I had to catch this on digital. But I would have loved to see this in the crowd. Nevertheless, it's a great film. This is written and directed by Ty West, and it's about this team of people, actors and actresses and producer. These people go to this rural property in Texas, I believe, and they go to shoot a porn, and they don't tell the people that own the property what they're actually doing, and the property owners get a little pissed off, and a slasher ensues. This is just a fucking entertaining, fun-ass movie, man. This is so fun. This was such a fun movie. Great performances, great soundtrack, great fucking setting. The way it was filmed, the opening shot is my favorite opening shot of the whole year. It's incredible. How it goes all 4x3 when you fucking start off and you go for the barn doors, and then it goes to the actual screen. Like, as a filmmaker, but it's not, it's nothing crazy. It's nothing like, other people will watch it and be like, well, it's just fucking camera going for barn doors. But I don't know. My filmmaker heart inside me was popping out of my chest when you start off 4x3, and I was like, oh shit, are we getting a 4x3 here? And then we're pushing through the barn doors and we are revealing what the movie is. And it's just, you love to see it, man. Like, that's it. That's the sauce. Yeah, Ty West is like, I've only seen a few of, one movie actually from Ty West, and that's The Innkeepers. I haven't seen House of the Devil, but I will be checking out House of the Devil after this, but I think this has the same kind of vibes to it. Oh man, it's good to see slashers return. I only know I just got into the horror genre, but I like slashers. Sometimes, yeah, they can get a little predictable. They've got the formula. They certainly do. But they're fucking fun, and it's great to see people get killed on camera. Don't clip me. Don't clip me on that. But the kills in this movie, fucking great. Characters are fun. But it also is not... It's just a well-made fucking movie, man. It's just a well-made, fun, entertaining, hell of a time. Yes, you get the slasher formula, and it falls into that as well. There's a final girl, it's all the same thing. But there's a message underneath it. I think it was very effective and worked really, really well. The way it was filmed, the sound effects, the soundtrack. It's just so much effort was put into making this movie, and it actually just lifted it up to something much more tangible, I guess, into taking something away from it. Because this is, first of all, this is definitely joining my horror nights from now on, and it's another film you can add to the marathons that we have, like a horror movie marathon you can have with a friend or something. This is definitely getting added to that because there's so much rewatchability in here. There's foreshadowing that I missed. I've seen this twice now. There was like foreshadowing I missed the first time, and there's so many more things you can pick up on the second watch. The characters are not dicks. They're actually like really nice. Like, really helpful. You don't hate the cast, You don't hate the people. Like, usually, especially in the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on Elm Street, and the even in the later Screams, you get characters that you don't really like, and you want them to die, really. The goal of a slasher with audiences is that you want them to die. One of the classics, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I forgot to mention, one of the classics. You want them to die. But weirdly enough, when I watched this movie, I didn't really want any of the characters to die. Yes, you do want to see how it plays out and see how they will die, but I actually enjoyed and really liked all of the characters in this movie. I felt for them. I had sympathy with them. There's some great dialogue. There's some great lines, great performances, like I said. It's just fun. It's just a really fun and well-made movie, and I cannot wait to see what Ty West does next. Next up, we hit another horror movie, Hellbender. Hellbender, directed by the Addams Family, made by the Addams Family. This was released on Shudder, I believe, and it's a very low-budget independent film. It's about this girl who is a witch, and her mother's a witch too. And it's a coming-of-age story because her mother wants to keep her kind of sheltered because she believes that her daughter harnesses this kind of this power inside of her. So she wants to keep her indoors and keep her enclosed in. But the daughter obviously wants to explore and make friends and, you know, be a teenager, be a woman. I'm pretty mixed on this one. While I appreciate the the filmmaking of it and this is made by a family, and fucking hats off to the Addams Family. Like that's fantastic. That's great. They're actually called the Addams, so like that was a really cool opportunity to take that and run with that. But look, I thought the best performance of the movie was the daughter. Every other performance, even the mother, I'm sorry, but like pretty bad. Should have went for another take with those ones. I do like some of the stuff inside it. The effects, I'm going to forgive the effects because it's a low budget film. I'm going to forgive the effects. But they are noticeable to anyone who's going to watch this, chuck this movie, let's say, just go on Shudder or chuck this on and be like, what the fuck is this? It is a low budget film, so the effects aren't going to be fantastic. I don't know. I was kind of bored. Yeah, I was just kind of bored throughout the runtime, and it just felt longer than it actually is. I did like the ending, however, but probably never going to watch this one again. But if you want to see a little bit of witchcraft, a little bit of hell raising or hell bending, Hellbender, Shudder, check it out. Next, one of my other most anticipated movies of the year, number 4, in fact, The Northman. This is Robert Eggers' next film after The Witch and The Lighthouse. He left A24 because he needed a bigger budget, and he went with Focus Features instead to put together The Northman, a roughly $90 million Viking revenge tale, loosely based on the tale of Amleth from the Norse Tales. I don't know where exactly it came from. This stars Alexander Skarsgård, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicole Kidman, Clay Spang, Willem Dafoe, Ethan Hawke. It's a cast that goes for miles. It's a fucking killer cast. And it's about Amleth, who his father gets betrayed and killed by his uncle Fjolnir. And Amleth goes on this tale of vengeance. Like I said, it's a Viking revenge tale, so he goes on this vengeance tale to avenge his father, save his mother, and kill his uncle Fjolnir. And if you remember from the trailer, it's "I'll avenge you, father, I will save your mother, I will kill you, Fjolnir," over and over again. It's pretty much that. That is what the movie is, with a little bit of Robert Eggers mixed in between. I found this movie to be quite underwhelming. What this felt like to me was not a Robert Eggers film. It felt like a Focus Features or a studio film that was made by Robert Eggers. That they just got Robert Eggers for, even though this is based off a script from Robert Eggers and so on. I just felt it was very paint by numbers for Robert Eggers' movie, and everything kind of played out the way I thought, and it just rang kind of hollow after that watch. I haven't seen it again since. I've only seen it once, but I'll probably watch it again, but just not anytime soon. I just thought it rang a little hollow, and I didn't really, I felt for Amleth and a little bit, but by the end it kind of just ends, and then you're just like, okay. I just don't know what it. I don't know what I can put into words. I just got nothing out of it. Unfortunately, I didn't get anything out of this movie. I definitely prefer his smaller budget stuff like The Witch or The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse especially, I can talk about for days. But the movie was done and it was over. Look, it looks incredible. The cinematography is amazing. The effects are amazing. The performances are really good too. Alexander Skarsgård especially, Nicole Kidman especially. Incredible stuff. Technically, it's flawless. It is amazing. The score as well. Yaron Blaschke actually he came back to as DOP for the film, but we didn't have the same composer for The Lighthouse. I think we had a different composer. I'm not too sure what the composer was. We had a different composer for this one. But I really enjoyed his Viking score. And it starts off subtly, and then it gets a little more heavier throughout the movie. And then when you get to, those final moments, I mean, I'm just going to, you get to the final moments in the final battle, and it just it pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds and gets better and gets bigger. It does its job. But yeah, the credits rolled. I kind of just shrugged my shoulders and was just kind of like, all right, okay. I actually want to see the 4-hour cut, really. I was watching this movie and I had this feeling that there looked like there was scenes missing from the film, and I want to see the longer cut. They apparently had a longer cut that played for test audiences. Some of the people didn't like it. They thought it was a little boring, so they cut it down, his 4-hour original cut to a 2-hour 15, I want to say 2-hour 15-minute movie. And Robert Eggers didn't get final say. He didn't get final cut on this. So this is much more ended up the studio's way. Eggers did say he was happy with the final cut, but described the experience working with a studio as one of the most painful of his life. So I think I don't know, maybe he's going back to independent studios, maybe back to A24. I don't know. I still don't know if that Nosferatu movie is still being made with Anya Taylor-Joy. I'm not too sure, but if he's not doing that anymore, I hope he does something a little smaller. Because look, this is a $90 million roughly Robert Eggers movie, but I definitely prefer his more like, I think The Witch was $4 million. I think The Lighthouse was like $8 to $10 million. I definitely prefer those type of movies because those stories were much more interesting. This story of Hamlet, if you want to look at it that way, that Shakespearean way as well. I believe Hamlet came first though. It's just that. And I just, like I said, I just got nothing out of it. I kind of left and I was like, okay. So a little let down, but if you do like this side of Robert Eggers, awesome. I think there's two kind of camps at the moment, people who like The Witch and The Lighthouse and people like The Northman, and people are loving this movie, and that's good for them. I'm happy for them, but this just wasn't my cup of tea. So next is some dog shit called Uncharted, and holy fuck, I hated this movie so much. Yeah. I'm going to be doing a deeper dive on this one when we get into our next season of the podcast. I'm going to be diving deeper with this one because I flat out despised this movie. Despised it. As a big fan of the games and just movies in general. This movie is fucking awful. Absolutely awful. And there are so many things wrong with it. It's fundamentally broken. And shit. That's all I can say. It is fundamentally broken in every single way. I felt the same way of Morbius, which I'll talk about next month as well. Sony, what are you doing? What the fuck? You open with your whole MCU fucking logo, and then you go into the movie and you just see a pile of shit with so much product placement and cynicism throughout. And yeah, I really hated this movie. And then I ended the month of movies with 7 Days. This played during the 2021 Sundance Film Festival, and we haven't got the digital release till just recently. It stars Karen Sony. It stars fellow Nova Castrian, Geraldine Viswanathan. And if you know her, you might know her from Blockers, Broken Hearts Gallery, those movies. She's great in all those. She's just great in general. And this is a romantic comedy in COVID. These two people go on a date. They have Indian traditional parents, so they want to set them up and have them have an arranged marriage. And they go on a date, and they get a message from the World Health Organization to say that people need to shelter in and stay indoors, stay inside. So they need to shelter together, and a movie ensues. You come to find out that these two are actually quite different from each other. and a rom-com ensues. Love the performance in this movie. This is, without a doubt, the best COVID movie I think we've ever gotten. That's just me. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But what a great use of the setting and the a location, really, because it does take place in just one location. There's one location at the start of the film. Most of the movie actually does take place at Rita's place. These two have fantastic chemistry. Karen Sony and Jerrod have fantastic chemistry. Some of the best I've seen in the rom-com in a while. And it's just Geraldine Viswanathan, man. Like, she is just a standout. She is absolutely incredible. So natural in her performance. And her character, Rita, look, not everyone's going to love her, but you're going to come around in the end. You're going to love her in the end. I really enjoyed this movie. I've seen it twice now. And if you want something light, bit of a rom-com, it is set during COVID, so there's a little bit of heaviness throughout. Might be too soon for you, but if you want something light, you want something entertaining, funny, very funny actually at times, with two great performances. One of my favorite movies of the year so far is 7 Days. Check it out. It's also produced by the Duplass brothers, Jay and Mark, and they always make some really cool independent films and always supporting independent filmmakers and productions. So check it out. I'm a big champion for that, and I'm a champion for that, and I'm a champion for a movie like this. Okay, sorry, I had to turn the light on because I realized I was losing frames there. Let's check out some TV. I've got two shows I want to talk about. So first of all, let's check out the Afterparty from Apple TV Plus. Both of these shows, by the way, are from Apple TV Plus. They're really justifying now their existence and why I'm paying $8 a month for them. The shows are coming through. They are looking good, and the future's looking bright. First of all, let's chat at the Afterparty. This is made by Lord & Miller. Gave us the Jump Street movies, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and this is again whodunit. You know from the video that I like a bit of whodunit, and pretty much what this show is these people go to a high school reunion. They find out that one of their classmates is murdered, who is now like gotten famous now as the party that takes place at his like mansion, his big house. And the detective played by Tiffany Haddish comes in and tries to crack the case. Now, what's special about this one is it is just a whodunit, and it does follow the same tropes and everything as a whodunit does, but each episode is presented in a different film format or a different film trope. You get an episode that's presented in a rom-com, and each episode that is presented in that different film trope represents a character's perspective of the night and the events that happened. You'll get an episode that is presented in a rom-com kind of way, and I think that's Sam Richardson's character. You get an episode that is presented in like this action movie, Fast and Furious, like lens flares, like different kind of filmmaking. And when I say that they really commit to the the type of episode it is, they really do commit to that, because the action movie has 1:3 ratio and what you normally get with blockbuster action movies nowadays. The rom-com looks really warm with warm colors and pop music and that kind of whimsical score behind everything, that motif. There's a musical episode, which is Jasper's episode, which is Ben Schwartz. He plays that character. You get the Chelsea episode, which is a psychological thriller looking a lot like the David Fincher movies. And it's all just a very, very creative show. And I didn't think it was amazing. It wasn't groundbreaking, but I really enjoyed watching each episode and seeing the different perspectives. There's even an animated episode with Zoe. And I think if you just want something different, I think there's only 8 episodes, I'm pretty sure, at Apple TV Plus. And if you have Apple TV Plus, this is definitely a show to watch. I think it got renewed for a second season, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty keen to see that and see the direction they will go with the second season. But check it out, man. It's only 8 episodes. And if you like that kind of creativity, if you like that kind of thing, if you want to see things done in different styles, the Afterparty. But the big main event for Apple TV Plus that a lot of people have been talking about, but I don't think it's been talked about enough, because I don't know if you signed up for Apple TV Plus yet. This is the reason you should be signing Apple TV Plus. Severance. This is a series directed by, I think it's made by Dan Erickson, I want to say Dan Erickson and Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller actually directs most of the episodes here. And it stars Adam Scott as this office worker who works at this company called Lumen. And as soon as he enters the workplace, he becomes a different person. So what happens is there's a operation called Severance, or a severance package. Obviously a play on words with severance and severance pay. But what happens is your brain gets severed into two different parts. So you have your life, or your normal life part, your at-home part, I'll say, and then you have your, on the other side, or when you enter the building, when you enter Lumen, you have your work part. And what's unique and interesting about the show is you only retain memories from each part. So if you're at home, you would only retain your at-home memories. If you're at work, you're only going to retain your at-work memories. And that is pretty much the premise and the setup for the show. And it started off weird, and it is a very, very much a weird sci-fi thriller. It does start off a little slow, but when you get to the end, especially, I think it's What's for Dinner, I think it's episode 7, is called What's for Dinner, or episode 8. My favorite episode of the series, with great twists, great reveals, and a excellent season finale. This has actually been renewed for season 2, so we'll be getting that next year, I'm pretty sure. Adam Scott's fucking great in this show. He's always been great. I love him. He's Ben White from Parks and Recreation, but man, he is great. He is such a great performer, and I love watching Adam Scott. And in this show, one of the best performances I've seen from him. And along with Adam Scott, you've also got John Turturro, Zach Cherry, Brett Lauer, Patricia Arquette as well. And the story is told, I think, really, really well. I think it's a great build-up, and then you get a lot of payoff throughout the rest of the season, while setting up another exciting season. What a great TV show should do, in my opinion. It's also got my favorite theme song of the year, my favorite opening theme or sequence of the year. I really love the opening sequence. I never skipped it. It was so fucking cool, so creative, so imaginative. And I was a big fan of it. And I think a lot of people were as well. So if you want something a little different, hop on over Apple TV Plus. Maybe get the trial for like 10 days, 14 days. And if anything hasn't been doing it for you so far, Severance. Season 1 was fantastic. I cannot wait for season 2. Please check it out. Apple TV Plus, Severance. Check it out. And that's going to do it, everyone. Thanks for watching the Everything I Watched in April. A little late with this one, but I was actually on holiday. And I think I was still in a bit of a holiday mode coming back from Melbourne. So hope you enjoyed. Make sure you give the video a like if you liked it. Yeah, I don't have to, but it does help me out a lot. Everything is going to be in the description where you can reach me, you can contact me, you can talk to me. We can talk about movies, we can talk about fucking music, we can talk about whatever you want. I'm going to hope movies, though. Hopefully the podcast will be back soon, and I'm going to see you again